And that goes back to Adam Visa. Adam Visa, he's the one that started with the Freemasons, okay, which was funded by the Rothschilds, which are the Edomites, okay. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Warburgs. These are the ones that are waging war on the people to bring in what the Nova Soda Sephorium, which is also on the back of your dollar bill, which is the New World Order. Also your El Puro Uno, which means what one of many. Okay, one of many, which means one world military, one world government, a one world religion. And what do they want you to worship? They want you to worship. Okay. Charagma, right? The charagma, the charagma, which is a graven image in your forehead or in your hand. Something that's physical that we're seeing on display with the Biden bucks.
Yeah, you can't close, like the elder Yachwamba said, Kemp, and other elders have said plenty of times. You can't just close the book and say it's philosophies, it's a way of life anymore, man. You know, the vision is starting to speak, and it's starting to speak loud and clear through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, that it's what we teach today, starting with our elders and apostles, man.
Beautiful. That was taught from a Great Millstone over 20 years ago.
And you got
before they were on YouTube.
The other guys that are running around this prophecy right here, which is a major prophecy, Slakia. You're gonna have to give answers for this shit. You know, you're gonna have to give answers for this right here, man. You know, for what you're teaching, man. And you're gonna have to realize that Great Millstone had it right. You're gonna have to confess that Great Millstone had it right, man.
God. Yeah, because what did Biden, he passed in March 9th of this year. He passed the Executive Order 14067, which is what all digital currency will be put in place over the paper dollar, okay? And that's gonna be I think December 13th.
And other countries like I think Zimbabwe are working on CBDC. You got Honduras, El Salvador, basically all the countries are on board, man.
Yep.
95% of the central banks are on board with it, man.
Because you have China. China, they already been doing it. They have a social credit system. Now it's just implementing the actual physical device that they want to put under your skin. Yep. That's why they're beefing over there in Taiwan, because Taiwan is the #1 place that has the devices, the semiconductors. Okay, that's what goes into. That's why Pelosi was over there, because she funds a lot of the AI, a lot of the Google technology. Okay, yeah, a lot of the Google technology, as far as the AI to be able to surveil you. You know, when you talk to Siri. Yep. Okay, all that technology is ran by these semiconductors. Okay, which is that device that goes under your skin that they want to put into you, because they want to make you linked into their smart cities. Okay, and China is already leading the way, because that's why Pedo Joe, he even said that we want to catch up to China.
Well,
what they're
the
doing.
Internet of Things is the tracking system, and the Internet of Bodies, that's your punk ass who takes the shit,
yeah,
man.
God, beautiful.
You know?
Yep. And those that don't have the understanding of here is the wisdom.
That's why it's called the Internet of Bodies.
Yep. Because it's in your body.
They want to have it in your body, man.
Yep. And you have 7,000 men that are not going to bow down to the image of Baal, okay? And that goes into 144,000 in the Commonwealth believers that are not going to stand for what Esau Edom and what he's doing, what he's pushing, okay? Because everything he pushes is wickedness, okay? Because as the brother read, they are the wicked, okay? There's one to honor, Romans 9, okay? One to honor, which is the tabernacle of David, which is the righteous, which is the Jacob. Okay, Jacob had 12 sons, Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and we're coming back through the breath of life, coming back and standing on our feet with that exceedingly great army. And Esau Edom is afraid. Okay, that's why he'll come out with things like misinformation, disinformation. That's why he has the DHS bulletin board saying that they're going to come after faith-based people. That's why
72 bullet points that they have in there that they're afraid of, man.
Beautiful.
Anybody that's speaking about end time prophecy, if you're condemning the NWO, if you're condemning the World Health Organization, if you're condemning government, that's on their bullet point of list of people to look out for, man, and to eventually come after, man. And come on, what are you waiting for, man?
Done. And on that list, 72 of those we're all against.
All of them.
All of them. They're all, because all those things are centered around coming after the prophets.
Also, number 36 and number 37. Now my memory's ticking a little bit. It goes into people who have made websites to push quote unquote conspiracy theories, to push controversy. And what are we on right now? YouTube, with the YouTube page set up, man.
Yep.
And that's them sneak dissing the prophets, man.
Yep.
This is 1 Kings 19:18, because you mentioned it, brother. Yep. This reads, "Yet I mentioned 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him."
Beautiful, because right now 7,000 is a complete number. Okay, so now you're having the 144,000 that are not going to bow down to this beast system. And what is the beast system? Okay, you have You have America, which is Babylon, which Babylon means confusion, America means bitter, okay? And they're joined unto what? NATO. It started with 10, okay? Started with, you know, you got to do all works, right?
Yep.
So started with 10. Okay, now it's up to what, about 30 countries, and they have consulted together to bring in again this device. Okay, waging war on the people, taking away their sovereignty, which means your rights.
Yep.
Okay, and then if you don't comply, they're calling you what, a health risk. And they have these camps set up, these internment camps that are set up that have what, these National Guard members, okay, these United Nations troops, and they're already at the border. They already been seen at the border coming over because that's why they want to let.
They already got the vehicles set up.
Yep.
They already got UN trucks that have been spotted in Canada. They got UN planes.
Yep.
UN tanks. You know, they got everything set up. Also, they have hundreds of thousands of smart guillotines set up. Why do you think they have them set up? Why do you think the IRS bought a whole bunch of bulletproof armor and what are those certain type of rounds that are armor-piercing rounds?
Yeah.
Hollow point bullets and whatnot, man. You know, why do you think the Department of Homeland Security has 2 billion bullets, man?
Yep. And also FEMA did too.
Yep.
FEMA bought $1 billion and IRS bought what, $1 million.
And FEMA is part of the Department of Homeland Security. You know?
Yeah, they're all what, the alphabet boys, and they're all consulting together what to ultimately to try to bring in their new world order. That's why That's why they're going to hire over 80,000 IRS people. Okay, because they want to weaponize them because they know that when people bought those, they got those PPP loans and things like that. Our people bought guns. They geared up on weapons. Okay, and they're coming back for that money. Because there's two things when they bought these IRS agents. Okay, there were, one brother brought out that the PPP loans, okay, which that makes sense because that was all a setup, that was all a scam for you to be in debt. But also you have the debt clock. When you look at the debt clock, it says that each person owes, now it's up to 93,000 last time I checked, last week. Okay, 93,000, they're coming back for that debt. Because again, the birth certificate, it says what? That you are what, a business. This is a corporation. America is a corporation. Okay, that's why it's in all capital letters, and they're coming back because when you get knocked off, okay, they get that money, okay, no matter what. Especially if you also have what, these insurance policies and things like that. Okay, they're coming to collect, right?
I got a couple precepts.
And they gotta real quick. They gotta they're gearing up. They're having a siege. Okay, that's one more thing is these sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Okay, they have these sleeper cells from what, UK, Afghanistan, all these people, when they went over to their countries and ripped them out of their houses, rape, rob, and murder, and took these people, now they're UN troops. And now they're over here and they hate Americans. Okay, why? Because of their pride, because of Esau's pride. Okay, and they think that everybody is the same way. And they're coming over here, they're not speaking no English, okay, and they're not gonna have no mercy, right?
This is Revelation 13:11, and it reads, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Beautiful. Yep. So those the 2 horns symbolizes what, the Democrat and the Republican. Okay, that goes back to what the plebeian and patrician. Okay, which goes back to Rome, which is this is Rome 2.0. This is nothing but an extension of Rome. Okay, when you look at what the House and the Senate, and then they got a president. Okay, that's all the same things go back to Rome. They have what, the legislations and the amendments, which is the same thing that goes back to Rome. Even with their fierce army. Okay, they got their fierce army in everybody's business.
Just like they had in Rome.
Yeah,
as far as, they had
Bring it up,
ancient Rome, they had all their troops spread out, you know?
Yep. Which is ultimately how they're going to be able to be infiltrated.
Yep.
Okay, which is ultimately what they want. Okay, but they think that they're going to be able to have what, a continuing city. They're going to have their great reset.
History repeats itself.
Yep. Ecclesiastes 1:9. They think that they're going to Psalms 49:11. They think their inward thought that they shall continue. Okay, they think they're going to have
Psalms. I'll just get that for you real quick.
Okay, beautiful.
This is Psalms, because I was going to get 59. This is
oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yep. 59 is perfect.
I was going to get Wisdom of Solomon. I'll just
yeah, I told you to get on fire.
This is Psalms 49:11, and it reads, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. That word house is bayat, you know? And that's what their inward thought is that their houses, their kingdom is going to continue forever. That's why they have Space Force set up. That's why they're trying to push pseudo-salvation and pseudo-immortality on a device, and you putting your essence on the internet of bodies and having your loved ones talk to you even after you die, you know? That's virtual immortality, you know? But that immortality and that blessing of immortality is only to Yasha Allah, the sons of the power, man. The princes of the power, the sons of the Most High, man. You know, his people, man. Starting with the prophets. You know, this is
And real quick, going back to Revelation 13:11, when he speaks like a lamb, that's his salvation. His salvation is what that device. So, again, the brother brought out what the pseudoscience.
that goes into him pushing those pseudo miracles.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
Yep.
He's saying that, you know, lawyers can go through case files in a fraction of the time. He's also saying that you can get your sight back, you can get your hearing back, you know, you can get your ability to walk back if you're a paraplegic.
Yep.
You know, you cannot starve to death. I got universal basic income. If you don't have the means to survive, just put this in your body.
Yep.
You know, also all sorts of health benefits you can have. You know,
Yep.
he's gonna make it seem like it's the best thing since sliced bread.
You can speak all different languages.
Yeah.
We'll just, just put this in. We'll download it on you, just like a computer.
Yep.
Because they want you to be as we said, the internet of bodies, and to be draconian. Why do they have to be draconian? Because they know a lot of people ain't gonna fall for that shit. Because if you look at TikTok, you look at Instagram, you
People
look
are
at
giving warning.
the alternative networks which Yahweh Shema Shai set up to what expose these devils, starting with the head apostles at Great Millstone, the men forth, this true doctrine. Okay, this devil Esau Edom's being made bare. He's being exposed. That man of sin is being revealed. Okay, for what his pseudoscience, which when you go into the word pseudos, it goes into a broad sense, not what it seems to be. Right?
This is Psalms 49:11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and that their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names."
Beautiful.
You know, going into America is named after Amerigo Vespucci.
Yep.
You know, Africa is named after Leo Scipio Africanus. You have Manchester in the United States, up there in New England. You have Manchester, England. You know, you have Birmingham in Alabama. You have Birmingham. That's a major city outside of London, man.
Yep.
You know,
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yep.
Okay, all these different things are named.
Washington State,
Yeah, Washington.
named after George Washington.
Yep.
You know.
Then you got Washington D.C.
Yep.
So and again, that's another a sign to show you who's actually in power. Who's first, and another thing is who's on the money, because that's how you really know who's in power. Who's on the money, okay? And who's going to be controlling now that they're taking away the money?
Who can't you talk against? You
Yep.
know, why do you have all these nations come together in 1948 to build a state of Israel? That's not according to prophecy, man. The Lord comes back, Isaiah 14, man. And then after the Lord comes back, he sets the nation of Israel, he sets the kingdom of Israel up, starting with their 144,000 in David, man. And if you read the next verse, people go into slavery, man.
Before the destruction.
And also,
Yeah,
if you go into Isaiah, the second chapter, the law is instituted. You're not pushing forth the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You're pushing kosher pork.
Humping
walls, you know, biting baby rods, you know, having gay parades in the Holy Land, you know, and people can't speak out against you, man. You know?
Yep.
You know, and the story doesn't add up, Jack. Just like the people who are pushing the MOTB is spiritual. You're going to have to give answer for that because it doesn't add up, Jack. You know?
And their inward, real quick, their inward thought is what? The Great Reset. Okay, Build Back Better. What do we have? Make America Great. Those
Yep.
are all them trying to forward their agenda. Real quick, I just want to get a scripture. This is Psalms. Oh yeah, well, I could do that one. I was gonna get Isaiah because their pride has reached to the heavens, and now the Lord's about to put them down.
Their sins have reached to the heavens as
Yep,
well.
yep. Revelation
You know?
18:6. Let me get this one. This is Isaiah 13:11. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. Okay. I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Okay. So what's their haughtiness? Their pride.
Yep.
Okay. Again, speaking against the Most High, they shout what? They're speaking abominations. Okay. To what? The Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay.
They blaspheme his name, his tabernacle. You know, those that dwell in heaven. He has a God complex right now, saying that I am, and none else beside me, man.
Yep.
But the scriptures say otherwise, man. This is Bel and the Dragon. Bel and the Dragon's only one chapter. This is Bel and the Dragon 1 and 21. Yep. 1 and 26. Now I'm gonna get
Yeah,
Psalm
that
59.
whole chapter
Yeah.
is fire.
This
I was
is
reading that yesterday.
Bel and the Dragon, the first chapter, the only chapter, and the 26th verse. And it reads, I'm gonna get 25 as well. I'm gonna get 24, man. This is it's like one of my favorite chapters. Man.
Yeah.
because it goes into, you know, how Bel was confounded, which is an idol which was worshipped by the Babylonians, and the dragon. You know, and if you go into, if you want to compare that parabolically, that's Esau, Edom being confounded, you know, the dragon, and his idolatry. You know, and it's going to be confounded by the word, by the prophets. This is, I'll just get right to the point. Bel and the dragon,
which is real quick, which is the same, exactly like the brother said. It's the same thing they're trying to do with this.
Yep.
The same thing they tried to do with Nebuchadnezzar when they had what, the golden calf.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Or Nebuchadnezzar. Beautiful.
Yep.
It's water, brother.
Sorry,
yeah. So the same thing. They want you to worship that. And when did you have Nebuchadnezzar? When you had what, the 3 holy children.
Yep.
Okay.
And they were saved by Yahushua.
Yep. They were in the furnace with Yahushua, right? And that's the same thing that he's going to be with his elect.
Daniel, the 3rd chapter, Daniel 3 and 25.
Beautiful.
Yep. And it's Yahushua that's coming back to save the elect, you know? And not all Israel is going to be delivered, only a remnant. And that's why, you know, I shared that lesson from the, you know, Elder Bishop Atazawam out of Atlanta, man, and that was a very powerful lesson.
Attention waiters and boogie boarders off Mission Beach. Lifeguards will be going out of service here shortly. It's highly recommended that you exit the water at this time and end your water activity for the day. We do have very dangerous conditions in the area. We've had multiple rescues all day. If you're not a strong ocean swimmer, it's highly recommended you do not go out past your waist.
That was a powerful message that was put up by the, you know, Elder Bishop yesterday, or the Bishop, you know, Atazawam out of Atlanta. You know, you should be privileged to be a part of this thing, just to be able to come out here and labor. You know, it's a high privilege, man, because not everybody's given this understanding. We're given the mysteries from on high and the understanding of what's going to happen in this man's kingdom. That's comforting, especially in these times that we're living in, where you're going to see all sorts of bugged out shit and people bug out. You know, this truth is very precious, man. The most precious thing you can have. This is wisdom, Slacken, Bel and the Dragon, 1 and 26, and it reads, "Give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword or staff." The king said, "I give thee leave." Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair and did seed them together and made lumps thereof, made cakes. And he put it in the dragon's mouth, and so the dragon burst in sunder. And Daniel said, "Lo, these are the gods ye worship." And if you read the GNT, it reads, "These are the gods ye Babylonians worship." You know? Idolatry, man. And all idolatry is going to be put down. All power, rule, and authority is going to be put down when Yahushua returns, man. This is a song.
Where are we at? We're in what, modern day Babylon.
Yep.
Okay? The virgin daughter of Babylon.
Which
right?
is being ruled by the beast, you know? The whore that sitteth upon the dragon, man. You know? The whore that sitteth upon the beast, man. You know? The beast system. And that beast system is going to be confounded, you know, by the prophets. And who was Daniel? Daniel was a prophet. Beautiful. This is Psalms 59. And let me see, it might be 58. Psalms 58 and 6. And it reads, "Break their teeth, O Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let them melt as waters, which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces." And that's what's going to happen to Babylon the Great. It's going to be confounded by the ICBM missiles, by his own creation, man. You know, Esau, Edom, Joshua, waste away his heat.
For the lasers, yeah. He says, what was that, Isaiah 50, what was that, Psalms 59?
Psalms 58.
Oh, 58.
I was going to get 59, but
okay,
Psalms 58, you know.
And the
That's
Lord's,
what I was looking for.
Okay, I'll get that. Psalms, because we're praying what to be able to get delivered out of what Esau, Edom's hand, which is our enemy, which is our oppressor. Let's get there. Psalms 59 and 1. "Deliver me from my enemies, O my power Yahweh. Defend me from them that rise against me." So that was the same thing Daniel was calling on. He was calling on what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, to be able to deliver him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, anytime that our forefathers were in trouble, they were calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They were calling on the true name. They weren't calling on Jesus, Yeshua, Yeshua, all these different false names. Okay.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was their slave names. You know that Nebuchadnezzar gave them. Their real names were Hananiah, Ananiah, and Mishael. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's the same thing Esau does
that's
now.
What we have now.
Yeah.
You know, slave names. You know,
Yep.
as far as our last names. You know, and our first names too, because that's not Hebrew. You know. Yep. That's not in our traditional language. You know, that's our government name, man. You know.
This is Psalms 59 and 2. "Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from the bloody men. Okay, and this is the most bloody man that you're ever gonna see, because Yahweh Shema Shai created him to be like that, created him what to dishonor. Okay, created him to be that straight savage, so we could be able to see what what being wicked is all about. So we can be able to come back to righteousness, to be able to see what a wicked ruler actually is, to be able to spiritually discern situations. Okay,
We're gonna need that to be able to judge in the kingdom too.
Yep.
Know right from wrong.
Yeah, knowledge of good and evil. You know.
Yep.
That's perfect knowledge. You know, knowledge of good and evil. That's what we had to go through. You know, this captivity. That's what we had to see the wicked in rulership. You know, it was written in the story that Adam was supposed to eat the wicked philosophies given to him by Eve and eat from the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. You know, so we would learn how to not rule. I mean, as far as we would learn how rulership is not supposed to be ran. Let me say it better.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, and this is a wicked rulership. Okay, there's nothing but what man on man, woman on woman, transformers. Okay, you have what poison in the food. Okay, you have barium, aluminum in the air. Okay, you have what? First of all, Esau, Edom, and rulership. You have these heathen nations that are hissing and wagging at our people. Okay, our people at a low estate, walking around with their pants hanging off their ass. Okay, you know, wearing purses. Okay, this is the
women
sickness.
whored out.
Yeah,
You know,
women
men-
are whored out. You know what I mean?
Jake in the hood. His only 3 ambitions is to be a rapper, a pimp, or a drug dealer.
Yep.
You know, that's his only 3 ambitions. You know, for the most part. Or you know, you got some who are more creative. They want to run a taco truck or they want to run a chicken shack.
Yep.
You know, but that's not real. That's not real rulership, man. You know, we want to be able to rule everything and run everything, and that's what we're going to be able to do when our kingdom's set up, man.
First of all, to just have peace. Okay, to be able to, when you sleep, you don't have demons running around. You know what I mean, around you. Okay, constant. When you're sleeping at
You can let your children go out there and play in the water, and you're not gonna have to worry about them getting bit by a shark or getting snatched up by an Edomite, man.
Yep, you're not gonna.
You know?
Yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about Pedo Joe caressing on somebody, or Pizzagate, or frazzle dripping. All these different wicked things that these devils doing, which they're being exposed for. Okay, this is.
And that's what that one bitch, the actor, she was making she was making a movie allegedly, you know, about exposing these guys.
Yep.
And she popped up dead, and she was actually trying to get up out of the body bag, and
Yep.
they caught that on film. You know, her actually trying to get up out of the body bag. You know,
And that's beautiful. That's your power, because that's Esau Edom being exposed for
Yep.
him trying to knock off people. Okay, for whenever they just like the one dude, the actor, he had shot the lady, shot someone over there in a western. It was supposed to be in a movie, but also that lady that got shot. This was like a couple months ago. I forgot his name, but he had shot. It's a John. No, it wasn't John.
One
it
of
was
them actors.
It was one of the. He's
But
always in the '90s
also,
movies.
Also,
yeah.
Bruce Lee's son.
He's a Edom.
Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee.
Yep.
Same thing happened to him. You know, he was shot by a live round, you know, in Hollywood, man.
Yep. And that lady that got shot back then, okay, she was actually going to be exposing what Harvey Weinstein.
Ann Hesh.
Was
I
it?
believe- I think it was Ann Hesh. You want to look it up, brother? You got the phone?
Yeah. So
I want to say it was Ann Hesh.
So she
I
was
might have it wrong,
she
though.
was going to expose what Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
Okay, which is part of the pedophilia, because
Epstein Island.
Yeah, Epstein Island, and that's the same thing that person was doing right there. Okay, it was the same thing.
And the other nigga that was going to expose him popped up dead
yeah,
as well.
right there. Tawada, your brother. Yeah, it's Shadow Thy Wings, Shalom, brother.
Yep, Alex Baldwin. Yeah,
Yep.
Tawada, brother.
That's what it is.
Ann
Yeah,
Hesh?
I knew it was one of the disciplines.
And Hesh is the one who came up with that out of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Cool,
Okay.
cool. I just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
so those are the same things that Esau Edom's being exposed for. You know,
Yep.
knocking off people, silencing people, and they always they do it with an enchantment. Because also another thing on the ambulance that I was looking at, it had the 6 and the 3. Okay, so we know we go back to
and
what
the other one was
6.
66.
Oh, was it? Okay, you saw that too.
And
Yeah.
63.
Yep, Chi Psi Sigma, which goes back to here's the wisdom, you know, of what the beast of this devil.
And
Okay?
also, the fire department aren't supposed to be touching people like that. It's supposed to be the paramedics.
Exactly.
The EMTs.
Yep.
You know,
This is
that also shows you it was bullshit. You know.
This is Psalms 141:9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst thou whether I escape. Okay, because the Lord's gonna lift up a standard for his elect. Okay, because what you're seeing is a lot of traps and snares. Okay, with that far as that the Trump thing. Okay, then you had the Ohio shooting.
Come, you got a preset, bro?
Okay, yeah, you had the Ohio shooting, as far as in the feds. okay, and then you had what, so that's all to, and then the January 6th thing, okay, that Trump thing is to what, take away free speech, okay, to attack what, your First Amendment right, which ultimately they're going to start coming for the people that are talking what they say that it's extremist, but we're just coming straight out the scriptures. This is not a private interpretation. Okay, then they had what, the feds saying that they got attacked.
The Alex Jones thing, that's the setup. That's the setup.
Yeah, beautiful.
Ultimately, you know, coming after the prophets. Because what are they also saying about Alex Jones? They're saying that he needs to be thrown in jail. His whole standpoint as far as a adverse opinion to what's being put out as correct information, taken off the internet.
Yep.
You know, and that's all a ploy. You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, 2 Corinthians 2:11. We're not ignorant of Esau, Edom's devices, the so-called white man's devices. You know, his wickedness. You know, that's all a ploy to come after the prophets, man.
Yep.
If you have vision, you know, if you're able to understand the end game, the long game. You know what I'm saying?
Because their whole thing is what? That perpetual hatred
Yep.
for Israel. Okay? And starting with the prophets, starting with that remnant, starting with the elect, because this wisdom it brings down, it puts that dreadful sound in their ear. Okay? It takes their tabernacle, or it takes that light out of their tabernacle of the rulership. That's why it speaks about that. What is that? Revelation 11 and 11. Okay? Where it speaks about they heard that speech and they were afraid.
I got something for you. This is 2 Corinthians 10:4, and it reads, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and bringing into captivity every thought of the obedience of Hamashiach Yahushai."
Yep. Yeah, our weapons of warfare are not cardinal. Okay, we're not supposed to gear up arms and start, hey, we're gonna get an AK, we're gonna get our sticks, and then we're gonna go hold camp. Okay, because now what you're seeing is those people that are holding sticks, that's when Esau is gonna come in like a flood on you. Okay, oh yeah, these guys are the extremists. Look at what they're talking about. They're against man on man, woman on woman. They're against transformers. So you're speaking part of the scriptures, okay, but then you're coming with that. So that's a worldly doctrine. Okay,
Well,
and
you're
that's
out there
not,
presenting yourself like you're really about that life. Well, you're going to be put to the test.
Yep, and the Lord's not going to protect you. That's the point. Because if you're not coming with the true doctrine, the Lord's not going to protect you. Real quick, 2nd Ezra. So and pulling down strongholds. Okay, pulling down strongholds is you know, showing the real depiction of our Lord, which is actually a so-called black man, knocking down that Caesar Borgia, you know, feminine, long hair, stringy, homosexual man. Okay, that's not how our Lord looks. Okay, another stronghold is what? That we are the saints of the Bible. We are the true Hebrew
What
Israelites.
it's doing is sweeping away the refuge of lies. Real quick, a quick precept, brother. This is Isaiah 28:17, and it reads, "Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place."
Beautiful.
These rivers of living water are sweeping away the refuge of lies, man, and also overflowing the hiding place of Esau Edom. He can't hide himself no more.
Yep.
You got something, brother? Bring it out, bro.
This is back you up from our weapons of warfare, not carnal. This is John 18:36.
We got you, brother. You right there.
What's that?
We got you out here.
Let's scoot back a little bit, bro.
John 18:36. How shall I answer? My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight? You see, so our weapons of warfare are not carnal. Our weapons are the scriptures. Okay, the words of the Lord. You know?
Also, the Lord said, "Everyone that shall take up the sword shall perish with the sword." When you know, Peter cut off the man's ear, and also, what happened when that happened? Yahushua healed that man's ear.
And it speaks about that in Matthew's 10, where it says, "Bring no staves."
Yep.
Which
weapons.
when you go in, when you go into it, it goes into iron, and it says like to beat somebody, which that would be the modern day gun of today. Okay, real quick, this is
We're gonna get those rods of iron in the kingdom, man. You know,
Beautiful.
real rods of iron, and we're gonna have authority and dominion and rulership and sovereignty in that day. You know, you're not gonna have to worry about somebody arresting you, you know, for beating your slave, man. You know, for beating your property, man.
Okay.
These so-called white people, you know, are going to be our property, man. As well as the so-called East Indian, the so-called Arab, all the nations that came against our people, man. And that's the gospel, man. You know. Also, their rulership and their hour that they're reigning the 1 hour that they're reigning with the beast is coming to an end. That's a part of the gospel, man. And we're sent out to the highways and byways to profess that, man, and tell Esau Edom his ways to his face, and tell our people to repent. You know, so Lord's will, they can take part in the action, man, on the first go round without having to hit a nuke without having to have a nuke hit him in the head, you know?
Yeah, because when you go into Ezekiel 3:17, where it says warning, it goes into teach.
Yep.
Okay, to teach them, you know, through the scriptures, not just with your own private interpretation, but teach them through the scriptures, the understanding that you have. Freely as you give, freely as you receive. Real quick, 2 Maccabees 15:21. Maccabees seeing the coming of the, and this is in the Apocrypha, right? It says, Maccabees seeing the coming of the multitude and the diverse preparations of the armor and the fierceness of the beast. So aren't we seeing that? Don't we see them gearing up with the martial law? Don't we see them that they have legislation that are going to be coming after the prophets? Okay, don't we see them with their drones, with their super soldiers? Okay, don't we see them gearing up, furbishing that sword, Ezekiel 21:9?
They got mechanical robotic dogs now with
Yeah.
missiles on them.
Beautiful.
Not only with guns.
Yeah.
Attention on the beach
Straight
and in
grenades.
the water.
Yeah. Or not grenades, but a bazooka.
Lifeguards will be
Yeah.
going out of
All that.
service in less than 15 minutes. It's highly recommended that you end your water activity for the day and exit the water at this time.
How many times are you going to say that?
Yeah, and you don't have
Feel
no...
free to meet us back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when lifeguards go back into service. If you do witness a water-related emergency, please dial 911 and ask for lifeguards. Lifeguards have a 24-hour response.
And that's going to be a
Just a
beautiful
friendly
thing.
reminder to please pick up all your trash at the end of the night.
Fucking smart.
There's no glass or alcohol on the beach. Mission Beach lifeguards hope you had a wonderful day and have a safe night.
And that's going to be the most beautiful thing in the kingdom is a woman being quiet.
Yep.
Okay? It never, her voice is just like irritating.
That makes
You know what I
it more
mean?
attractive when they're-
Yeah, it's just like, do this, do that, and no one listens. That's the whole point. No one listens when a woman's speaking. Okay? But that's the you know, but that's all this, that's what it is. It's the pick and roll with, you have Esau, the so-called white man, and then with you know, with Eve, and they think that they're actually doing something, but in that day, they're going to wish that they had what a man in the Lord.
This
Real
is
quick.
Sirach 25 and 25 to back you up on that point, and it reads, "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad."
Yep. And again, yeah, because women are supposed to be what? At the house. Okay, at the house, taking care of the children, you know, cleaning and cooking. There's nothing wrong with that.
Making
okay?
a sandwich. You
Yep.
know?
There's
Holding
nothing-
down the household, man. You know?
Having respect for your actual, having respect for your man.
But that was employed by the Rockefeller family and the Rothschild family to bring women out of the house so they can tax the other house, so they can tax the other half of the household.
Yep.
You know, before the 1920s or so, before women's liberation and women's rights, you know, women weren't working. But that was employed by the elite bankers to get the women out of the house so they can tax the other half of the household, man.
Yep. That Aunt your mama spirit.
And
was
also,
with Jake.
also they can defile the children, you
Yep.
know, with the public indoctrination system.
Yeah, with the school. That goes back to Adam Vsop. That was
Yep.
which the Freemasons, when they came in, he wrote how they're gonna be able to bring in their new world order. Okay, which that was funded by the Rothschilds, which like the brother said, to you know, have the schooling system, to be able to take you know, God out of the school system and be able to implement their own things that don't mean nothing to the scriptures.
And what are they doing in the
Mass,
school system?
I mean-
what are they doing in the school system now, Slocky brother?
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're having drag queens come to class. They're having children, you know, dancing in front of drag queens. You know, they're bringing your children to the strip club. We're giving them fake money. You know,
Yeah.
they're freaking them out, man.
Yep.
You know, the child can now call himself a 7-year-old turtle, a girl turtle or whatever in the classroom, and then when he comes home, you know, and you say anything about it, you're liable to be arrested for it now, man. You know. That's the type of wicked, backward society we live in. You want to get Isaiah 29 and 16,
Because
brother?
even when I was in school, I think about it. They had sex ed, and then so what if you're a kid and you're not even around that? So now you know about sex ed, and then they used to have a thing called DARE. What if you were a kid, you didn't even know about drugs? Now you know about all the drugs. You know what I mean? I just thought about, because we were talking about
That
that.
entice people to go and
Do the drugs, yeah, because like maybe you didn't grow up in the
DARE, drug aware,
you know what I mean?
resistance education.
Yep.
That's what it means. I mean.
And but what does it do? It opens up the mind to the kids, because they might be involved. They might be around. They might have drug community, but they're not involved in drugs. But now it makes them curious, because that's what happens. The kids get very curious and what things are going on. Just like
it plants that seed of curiosity in the child's mind. And then when he gets around it, when he's 14, 15, 16, now he's more susceptible to be a part of it, man.
Yep.
You know, or even earlier. You know?
Yeah, because I want to see what these certain drugs do, or I want to. And then what we're talking about right now is what the gay BCs. Okay, that's the whole thing That's the whole thing about this devil, is he wants to what? Infiltrate your mind to what? Either deceive you or wants to kill you. And it all goes back to the same thing, which is death, okay?
Isaiah 29:16, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Beautiful, yes. Turning upside down, that perverse spirit, okay? Doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, okay? Like eating, bring it up, brother.
No, go ahead, finish.
Like eating unclean foods, okay? Making what? Pig's feet, making pork a delicacy, making what? Shrimp a delicacy, okay? Making lobster a delicacy. Oh yeah, cut. Yeah, so all these things that are so-called delicacies, when these crab legs and things like that, those are all abominations. And the reason why they're abominations, these things that Yahweh Shema Shai put in place, they're not grievous, okay? Because what do they lead to? They lead to disease. They lead to Big Mama with her foot, you know what I mean? Has to get her foot cut off.
There's a family member of mine recently that just sent me a picture with her leg cut off, man.
Yep.
You know?
And all these things are what Esau Edom puts in place, and that was another thing that was
out
part of
eating,
that.
Out there eating, barbecue ribs at the cookout. Too many rib tips, man.
Yep. Too many extras. Extra. Let me get the extras. And all that grease, all that oil. Then you had the DuPonts where they had the pans, okay, that had the forever chemicals on it. Okay, this is Esau Edom's ploy. Also with the five. Okay, so you have the internet in your house, right? You have the ROTM, and that's running, and that's pushing off radiation. Okay, and that leads to what the frequencies that run off people's head when people be bugging out too. Okay, and they want to have that technology inside of you. See, this is the unjust man that we're speaking about, the wicked.
This is Psalm 7 and 9, and it reads, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reins." I'm gonna read it again. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reins. My defense is of my power, which saveth the upright in heart. And the scriptures say, "Blessed is the man in whom his spirit is no guile," man. I'll just get it real quick.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous act to the best of our ability. Okay, and let me finish this real quick, just because we were talking about arms, right? Because there's victory in what the word, like he said, standing upright, being righteous. Okay, that's what they're trying to knock down, is what the holy conversation, okay, that we have amongst brothers. That's why they're trying to knock out the internet, okay? Because they think that they can be able to stop this word, okay? What they're sadly mistaken.
Do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
Beautiful. This is 2 Maccabees, just to finish it
and
out.
when he does that, that means all the elect are sealed.
Yep. And that's why Revelation 12 and 12, rejoice ye heavens, because this devil has come down to you having great wrath. Once we know that he rolls on us when this camera's cut and we're not able to come out, that's when our true faith. Okay, those that actually believe in Yahweh Shem and Shai, believe in the report. So let's go back to this. And believing in the report is when you don't stack up arms, just to finish out that point, because I read like halfway through. 2 Maccabees 15 and 21, Maccabees, seeing the coming of the multitude of diverse places, diverse preparations of armor and fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hands towards heaven and called upon Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's what we're supposed to do, is call out to Yahweh Shema Shai. Like the brother said that the bishop from Atlanta, that was a beautiful lesson. I saw that too, is just give thanks to what Yahweh Shema Shai and what he's doing for us. Okay, this wondrous wisdom. Okay, that worketh wonders, knowing the victory cometh not by the arms. Okay, not by arms, not by carrying your AK-47 or carrying your AR-15. Okay, carrying your pistol, your quetta, your axe. Okay, that's not going to be your strength. It's in putting your trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. But even as he seemeth good to him, he giveth it such as were worthy. So again, we're praying that we're able to be worthy, counted worthy in the day that Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, the day of judgment, the time of Jacob's trouble, which we're in right now, but it's going to turn up. Okay, it's going to turn up. It's going to turn up even more, because again, they're cutting off the food supply. They have these droughts, then they have these floods, they have the heart machine that they're pushing out. Okay, so we're going to need a spiritual divine inspiration.
This is Exodus 14 and 13. I'm going to get 14 as well. And Moses said unto the people, "Fear ye not, And that's why those guys take up arms, because they're actually scared of Esau, man. They're actually scared of, his military force and all that, man. We're not scared one bit, man. This is Exodus 14:13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And the Egyptians never came into power. After Pharaoh and his army were destroyed, you never heard about the Egyptians rising back to power, man. This is Exodus 14:14. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
The Lord, right there. The Lord shall fight for you, okay? He's going to be the one that's bringing down the hammer. He's going to be the one that's giving you spiritual power. He's going to be the one that's giving you food and giving you water and adversity. He's going to be the one that leads you to the woods away from these death zones, these cities that are going to be nothing but killing zones, right? Bring another one. I'll bring it.
Psalms 44:5.
Yeah, I was going to get that too, bro.
Okay.
That's the spirit. But I got Zephaniah. Go ahead, bro.
All right. Psalm 44:5. Through thee will we push down our enemies. And who's he referring to? He's talking about Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yep.
It says, through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
And what does Exodus 15:3 say? Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai is a man of war. Yep. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Those that run into it are saved, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man.
And that strong tower, if you think about it, you have a vantage point over your enemies. When you have a watchtower, you climb up, your enemies can't get to you.
Yep.
So you have an advantage. You have and that's one thing about the art of war. You want to get a point above your enemies. That way you can see them approaching. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is that strong tower that's going to protect us.
I got a scripture for you right here. This is Psalms 27:1. I'm going to go down to 5.
Did you get 6 as well? That's the point.
Yeah, kind of. I did.
Okay, kind of.
Yeah, so I'm going to go down to 5. That's point in 5. Psalms 27:1. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is my light and my salvation. Okay, the light is what the truth. Salvation is what Yahweh Shai. And whom shall I fear? And the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? Because Yahweh Shai gives life. Okay, and Esau gives death, right? It says 2, when the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host that should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Okay, so in your mind, you're not going to fear because you're keeping the eye singular on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, so none of these devils are going to be able to infiltrate you as far as with the super soldiers and all these things, because he's going to lift up that standard. War shall rise against me, and this I will be confident. Psalms 27:4. One thing I have desired of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushai all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to inquire in his temple. Okay, and what are we in? We're in the spiritual temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, praying that we're of the hopeful elect. Okay, 5. For in the time of trouble, so like a time of what? Jacob's trouble, a time of what? Our temptation, a time of what? Tribulation. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, and the secret of his tabernacle he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. Okay, upon that tower, which is what? Yahweh Shai. It goes into Matthew 7 too.
That rock.
Yeah, that rock. Matthew 7, when that tempest comes in, okay, no man can be able to move you. Why? Because you're on that foundation. You're on Yahweh Shai, standing on Yahweh Shai. That's why you're not supposed to go outside of the scriptures. When you go outside the scriptures, that's when that you're not protected. You're not in that secret place.
You don't have that hedge.
Yeah, that hedge, beautiful.
This is
This is Psalms 18:1, and it reads, I will love thee, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower.
Beautiful. Yep. And the name is a strong tower. Okay.
And that's also reiterated in the book of Psalms, the first chapter. He raised up a horn of salvation. Yep. That horn of salvation is our Lord Yahweh Shai. He has many titles, man. The author, the finisher of our faith, the destroyer, the deliverer, the redeemer, the destroyer, the firstborn of many brethren.
Destroy our enemies.
The firstborn of many brethren, the first spirit created.
Beautiful.
Second Ezra 16:75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. It's just to kind of back you up what you're saying. We're not to fear, man. You know what I'm saying? We fear Yahweh Shem Shai, but we got to know that at the end of the day, man, Yahweh Shem Shai has got us covered, man. He's the one guiding us through. all the trials and tribulations that we're currently going through, and the ones that are going to be coming, happening during the time of Jacob's struggle.
Yep, which is what that straight gate, Matthew 7:14, because narrow is the way. Okay, that straight path is what a position of difficulty when you have what 2 Ezra 7 speaks about, where you have a deep water on one side and you have a fire on the other. And in that middle, you're walking down that path, and there's thorns, there's crackheads, there's zombies. You know what I mean? There's all these, there's women. Okay, there's all these traps and snares that Esau Edom has, but the Lord is going to lift you up to be able to go through that path, that, like the brother brought out, that guide, right?
This is Sirach 2:11, and it reads, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hearts. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, those who are slothful.
Yep.
And the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he be not defended. Woe to you that have lost patience, what will you do when the Lord shall visit you?
Yeah, what are you gonna do when Esau Edom is coming in with his tanks? Okay, you have people running around with all these, their tactical gear. These Edomites that have been waiting to kill you.
Night vision.
Yeah, night vision. Oh yeah, so Operation
mechanical robotic dogs with little mini missiles to blow up your apartment.
Yep.
Mechanical robotic dogs with AK-47s, 100 of them, man.
Yep.
And then they got the tank 1,000 yards away to do the cleanup after all those robots go through, man.
Yep.
What is your pea shooter gonna do in that day, man? Even if you got 10 guns, that's not enough to take on all that, man.
Because what do they have? They have drones. They could just fly a drone over microwave your head with the heart.
This man's perfected the sword, man.
He is the sword.
The sword is his blessing.
Yep. He's known as what the Syrian, the rod of my anger.
Our blessing is the oil, man. The scriptures, the understanding. Yep.
This is Psalms 144:1. Blessed be Yahweh Shemashai, my strength would teach my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Okay, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower, my deliverer, my shield, whom I will trust, who subdueth my people under me. Okay, again, going back to that tower, right? And then what is he protecting us from? What? Our enemies. That goes also with 2/3 of our people are enemies. A man's foe shall be of his own household. Okay, our people are the worst people.
Hey, let's
turn
this the other way because there's too much glare, bro.
Far as their hate towards what the prophets, right? Because what did they do with Yahawashi? Okay, they chose what Barnabas, right, which was nothing but a 2/3. Okay, over our Lord Yahawashi. When our Lord Yahawashi was giving them salvation and giving them understanding.
They wanted to kill Yahawashi.
Yep, they wanted to kill Yahawashi.
They wanted to kill Jeremiah. Jeremiah the 26th chapter. They threw him in prison. Jeremiah the 37th chapter. They wanted to kill Yahawashi. John the 8th chapter. Peter was thrown in prison. And he was delivered by an angel. Acts the 12th chapter. And at the beginning of that chapter, James was beheaded. John's brother, man.
This is Psalms 144. This is Psalms 144:7. Send thy hand from above. Who's that hand? That hand is Yahawashi.
Yep.
Okay. From above, rid me and deliver me out of the great waters, from the hands of strange children.
Out of the great waters.
Yep.
When the enemy comes in like a flood.
Psalms 124.
Also, I was just reading Psalms real quick.
Bring it up.
I'll go with 18 real quick. 18:4. Also Psalms 124.
Yeah, that whole, because that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be coming in like a madman, sparing none, because he knows that he had but a short time. Bring it up.
We're about to get 18:4.
Yeah.
Let me get this real quick. It's the same chapter.
Okay, come.
18:29.
Yeah.
Psalms 18:29. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by power have I leaped over a wall. That standard. It says, as for the Most High, his way is perfect. His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. See, so hey, trusting in the Lord, man, will give you that advantage over your enemies, man.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah, Psalms 18:4.
So I'm gonna go back to Psalms 144.
Yep, Psalms 18:4, and it reads. I'll start with 3. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. You know, because the scriptures say in the book of Sirach, the prayers of the humble pierceth the clouds, man. You know, and David was known as the beloved, a man after the heavenly Father's heart. You know, and the tears of the elect, the cries of the elect are heard by Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, through Raphael and the other angels that send up the prayers of the saints, man. Going into Tobit, the 12th chapter, you know, I'm Raphael, the 7 holy angels that hears the prayers, you know. And those prayers are presented to Yahweh Shemel Shai. You can read about that in the book of Revelation, you know.
Yeah, and even the people that died. Okay, even Jake, the dude that got shot over there in Akron, you know, over 60 times. He's crying out to the Lord to come back. See,
and he's in his right mind now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know.
And then also, you know, the men that Abba Bivens and our apostles and you know, the elders before Great Millstone. Okay, they're the ones that went to the spirit world and the truth. They're crying and sighing for to come back and seek vengeance on this devil. Okay, for all the abominations that this devil has done. Psalms 144 and 8. Whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. Okay, yeah, so everything that they speak about is always nothing but abominations and iniquity. Okay, it says, I will sing a new song unto thee, O Yahweh, O Palestry, an instrument, 10 strings, I will sing praises unto thee. So right now, this new song is what? The ministry. Okay, what is that? Psalms 40? Okay, that new song.
You guys put a new song in my mouth?
Yep, yeah, the new song is what? This word, this truth. Okay, coming back to your heritage, coming back to who you are, what? Rehearsing the righteous acts, following the commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, wearing the fringes if you're out here on the highways and the byways. Okay, you know, growing out your beard. You know, you're starting to what? You're fully persuaded in your mind. You're counting the cost. You know, and when you're in this ministry, you gotta be all in. You can't be brother brought it out, James 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, and that's when you're gonna get caught up, because just because you know you're an Israelite, that's one part of it.
I get it on 98.
You gotta be persecuted too.
This is Psalms 98 and 1, and it reads, "Oh, sing unto the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai a new song, for he had done marvelous things with his right hand." I'll start again from the top. I got really excited because you mentioned the right hand in Psalms 144. Call out Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Yeah, and the Lord loves hearing what this new song.
Yep.
Okay, he glories in what? Hearing this new song, being taught to the people, especially the people that are just coming in.
This is the song of Moses. This is the song of victory, man.
Yep.
You know, victory for the elect and defeat for all the heathen nations, man. You know, and also through the elect, you know. Even the people who get purged out, they're gonna have to get purged out, but they're gonna get victory in the end because they're gonna live in a righteous kingdom, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna have to be in the ghettos, barrios, and reservations. You know, seeing your mom go catch hell, maybe not being with your father.
They're gonna have to catch a horrible death, but hey, you know.
Hey, but it's better on the other side.
It's better on the other side, man. It's better than living in captivity, man.
Yeah.
You know.
The grass is greener on the other side. You know, those green pastures.
This is Psalms 98 and 1. Oh, sing unto the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai a new song, for he had done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm had gotten him the victory. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai had made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen.
Yep, openly showed. Isaiah 34 and 1. That roll call of you're supposed to let not just our people know who they are, but also you're letting these other nations know their judgment and what's about to happen to them, which is what? If you're an Edomite, okay, and then the guy that was on the comment board that said, is there any salvation for the white man? No. If you're not an Israelite, there's no salvation for...
There's no such thing as the white man.
Yep.
You know?
Well, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But
take it one step further, they're the Edomites, man. There's no salvation for Esau, Edom.
Yep.
The book of Hebrews says so, man, and other places as well. You know?
Yep. He's been rejected.
Isaiah 40 and 15, Isaiah 40 and 17.
Yep.
You know, they're nothing but spittle. Okay. They're nothing. You know?
And now that's why it goes into what, if your spirit bear witness that our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is a spiritual thing. So you have people out there that are cardinal and they want to be, it's a white thing, it's a black thing. No, it's actually a spiritual thing. Okay, and it's if you're of an Israelite.
This is Jeremiah 25 to bring up that point, because you judgment to all the nations. Let's just read about it.
Yep.
It reads judgment on Egypt and others, as far as the footnotes right here. Bring it to the camera so you can see it. This is judgment. I'll start with judgment on Jerusalem and Judah. Jeremiah 25:18.
I know.
To wit,
like the 10th
Jerusalem
time.
and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment, a hissing and a curse as to this day, as it is this day. Jeremiah 25:19. And it reads, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, the kings of the lands of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. You have people living in our Holy Land right now, man.
Yep.
You know, calling themselves us. That's talked about in the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. You know, Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon, the so-called Asians,
That's
man.
the spirit, because those two guys,
Oh yeah.
they're hearing their judgment.
Yep. And the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon.
Ishmael.
You know, you got Tyre and Zidon, which are Hamite nations, Hamites, so-called Africans, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan and Tema and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia.
Boom. Yeah, right there.
The towelheads, man. You know, they got to get theirs too.
Ishmael.
You know, Ishmael, man, because what happened during the sub-Saharan slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, where you had the Edomites, the same wicked banksters, had a monopoly on the timber, and what they do, they sent out the Africans, the Hamites, Tyre and Zidon, and the Arabians to round up the children of Judah, and they were sold to the Grecians. You know, Joel 3 and 6. You know, and they have to pay for what they did to our people, man. This is Jeremiah 25 and 24, and it reads, "And all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert." the towelheads, man.
Yep.
You know,
Ishmael.
and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and the kings of the Medes. So not only the towelheads, but you have the red dot. They got to pay for what they did to our people as well. Now they're not mentioned in Psalms 33, but they still had our people in captivity, man. You know, the Persian Mede Empire, being the Persians, being the Elamites, the so-called East Indians, you know, the Pakistanis, so on and so forth. And then you have the Medes, the old school Medes, which are the Japhetic people, the Pacific Islanders, man. Now the modern day Medes will be the Russians, because what happened when Esau, Edom, came into those lands, he pushed Japhet out of those lands. And Japhet was occupying what's known as Russia today. But if you go into biblical prophecy where it talks about, and I will stir up the Medes, he's not talking about stirring up the Japhetic people. The Japhetic people aren't mentioned any time in end time prophecy.
They don't have no power.
The two major players when it comes to kingdoms, as
They
far
don't
as
have no missiles.
rulerships and, you know, so on and so forth, are Esau, Edom, and Jacob. And then you have other minor players as well, like the Assyrians, who are nothing but Babylonians.
Yep.
The Babylonians, so on and so forth.
Yeah, they're nothing but Edomites. And,
You know?
and going back to India, what did India do? They conspired together. So just like, you commit a murder, okay, and then you were with them, what does that mean? You going down too.
You're an accomplice.
Yeah, you're an accomplice. So you're an accomplice to what? This slave trade, because you profited off it. Okay,
And
first
the
of all, New York.
universal court's in session, and you guys are all guilty, man.
Yeah, because in New York they have the bodegas. Okay, there's a lot of Indians over there that with the dot on their head. Okay, and they put the old ass food in there, the chips and the
Esau,
sodas.
he's trying to run away from his nationality, but your bus say so. If you were to look up Herod Agrippa and the old school Herod Agrippa, there's actually one bust of one of the Agrippas, one of the Herods, the Herodian dynasty. One of them niggas looks just like Joffrey Baratheon, man. He looks just like the nigga, man. Just like him, bro. Like if you were to look at him up, if you go to King Herod and look up the bust, I can pull it up. He looks just like Joffrey Baratheon, bro, from Game of Thrones. Exactly like the nigga, man. You know, exactly like him, man. So how you gonna say you're not Esau Edom? You weren't the Herodians, you know?
Yep.
You're the bust tell us so. You know, the architecture tells us so, man.
Yeah, because that's the evidence of, this is the evidence of what has been, of what your unrighteous dealings, okay? So I want to get this. This is Psalms 144 and 10. It is he that giveth salvation unto the kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Okay, so that's Yahawashi. what delivering what the David, which is what would be the tabernacle of David, and we're praying of what that hopeful elect, okay, from what that hurtful sword, which is what Esau Edom with his great sword, Revelation 6 and 4, okay, and
Who's this
also
look
what
like?
Isaiah 10 and 5.
Who's this look like?
Yeah, I know. I seen it because brother. Yeah.
Who's this look like, man? It looks like
Apostle always
looks like Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones, man. You know? You can't hide it. You can't hide yourself no more, man. You know?
Yeah, you're not American. You're not German.
Yeah, you're not German. You're the Edomites, man.
You're not a small hat, or you're a small hat, but you're not those people. Okay?
You're not the children of the Heavenly Father. You're
Yeah.
the vessels of wrath made for destruction.
Yep, you're the synagogue of Satan.
You know, you're Hebrew Edomites. You
Right?
know?
This is what you are right here. Psalms 144 and 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children. That's who you are. You are strange children, because everything you do is that's strange when you want to be with children. That's strange when you want to be with an animal. That's
Take on somebody else's identity.
yeah. You want to steal someone, yeah, and then walk around like you're that person.
Now, if you go into that word, if you go into that word strange in the Hebrew, one of the definitions is a harlot, which
Okay,
goes
yeah.
back to Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, in the form of, if you read Zephaniah, you can relate it to that better yet.
And what is this? This is the mother of all harlots, Babylon the Great.
I'll
And
just get a precept
who's in control?
to
These
back that point up.
these strange children. Okay, that's why you see, again, bestiality. That's why you see pedophilia. That's why you see man on man, woman on woman, transformers. It speaks about that in Sirach 10. That's why, let me get that.
Real quick, I'll just get this. This is Zephaniah 1, and I think it's about,
Is it a spider?
yeah, there'll be spiders over there. You gotta watch the bag. You gotta keep the bags closed,
I know, I
because
zipped
there'll be
them
black
up.
widows down here.
I zipped it up. I remember when you told me.
Yeah. This is yep. This is Zephaniah 1 and 1 and 8. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such that are clothed with strange apparel. Oh, you want to get that in the blue letter real quick, brother? Zephaniah 1 and 8. Look at that word strange.
Okay, real quick. This is Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Yep.
Okay? Yeah, a wise judge. And what do? They instruct you to what? Be a weirdo. Be a strange child. What was that again, brother?
Zephaniah 1 and 8. Look
Okay.
at the word strange.
Okay.
Because apparel, that word goes into clothing, but that word strange, it goes, one of the definitions is a harlot, a whore. You know?
Zephaniah, right? Or is it Zechariah?
No, Zephaniah.
Okay,
Zephaniah,
okay, good.
1 and 8.
I got you.
Any precepts in the comment board? It's like we just been rolling. Hey, Shalom, Maki, Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah Wa Thumb. Everybody tuning in.
Yeah, so this is this word strange, right? It goes in the Hebrew word 5237. It goes into, foreign woman, harlot, okay, unknown, unfamiliar,
Oh, you guys
Yep.
come over here.
okay?
Back over here.
Adulterous, different,
Adulteress, you know?
outlandish.
I'm gonna read the precept one more time. Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, all those who are living lawfully, man. You know, Esau, Edom, you know, who's in rulership. This is Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice. I made a great sacrifice in Basra.
Yep,
When you
yep.
get to Isaiah 34, brother, 5 and then 6, and the great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Because also that go Isaiah 34 and 1, it goes into what the roll call, as we were just bringing it out.
You have the real nigga roll call, you know,
Yeah.
because they're the niggards of the earth, man.
And real quick, let me, because I went into the Strong's word, I went a little bit deeper, right?
Yep.
Hebrews 52:35, calamity, disaster, misfortune, okay? And that's what strange means, right? And that's in the Hebrew, as the brother was, 4 and 5.
Yeah, this is Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it reads, and I'll get the precept one more time. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and all the king's children and all that are clothed with strange apparel. What are they clothed with? You're clothed with the covering of Babylon the Great,
Okay.
the great harlot.
Let me get this other one. When you go a little bit deeper, this is the third time you go in, far as that word strange, right? You have the Hebrew word 52:34, okay, to
What does the
regard.
Hebrew say? Let me see if I could that.
Oh yeah, maybe you can dice.
It's like that.
Nakar,
Nah.
nakar. Yeah, nakar, which would be what in the Hebrew, right? You want to?
Looks like it's Nabar, but it's all good though. It looks like Bob, but it's all good.
All right, so that's why I just say the Hebrew 5234
Yeah,
for
it's
the
all good,
coordinates. You know, because you can't hear, because even sometimes the sound is not what it actually is.
It ain't what it is.
So
if you actually go into the Hebrew chart, it'll you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
So real quick, this is when you go into the definition, it says to regard, to observe, to pay attention to pay, to regard, to notice. Okay, to and what did Cain got put on him? He got put what, that mark. Okay,
Yep.
the mark of what, when you go into the definition, it goes into what the evidence. That's in Genesis 4:14. Okay, and that's evidence of who he is. Was what, to be what, translucent, to have what his to be what, have his skin showing. Yeah, exactly. Having his blood showing. Okay, which is showing that what, he's actually a red man, which his true nationality is what, being an Edomite. Okay, so we good on that.
This is Revelation 17:4, and it reads, "And the woman," talking about Babylon the Great, "was arrayed in purple," the woman that was riding upon the beast, you know?
And purple goes into what, royalty.
Yep.
Okay.
And Esau, Edom's in rulership right now.
Yep.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness and fornication. One of the definitions was fornication, adultery.
yeah,
And one of
adultery.
the definitions in the word strange was actual a harlot, a woman,
Yep.
a whore. And it reads, Revelation 17:5.
And that's real quick, because that's evidence of who Esau Edom is.
Yep.
Okay, when you go a little bit deeper in each one, that's why the apostles always
That's
say,
evidence of who the strange children are,
Yeah,
of who the king's children are,
and what
the
they would be
prince's
doing.
children.
Yep. And what
You
they
know?
would be doing,
And
how they would look, how they would act.
And all those that are clothed with strange apparel, those who are following and eating of the philosophies of Babylon the Great, you know, those who've taken the MOT to the beat, you know, you're worshiping Cesare Borgia and you haven't repented, man. Boy, you're going to be destroyed. We want to get Isaiah 34, brother? Let me get this real quick. Revelation 17:5, and it reads, "And upon her forehead was a name written, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great." And we know Babylon the Great to be America, the virgin daughter of Babylon, you know.
Yeah.
Psalms 137 and 7 and 8, and then Isaiah the 47th chapter. You know, it talks about old virgin daughter of Babylon, because this place hasn't been touched by actual, real hardcore warfare. You know, the Spanish-American Wars, the British-American Wars, the French Revolutionary Wars, that was all kiddie play to what's really going to come to this place, man.
Yep. And I want to get, you know, just to add on to what the mysteries, okay,
Yep.
because the mysteries were given to what, the prophets, okay, because it says mystery of Babylon.
You finish the
Now,
precept.
mystery, no, bring it out.
Revelation 17:5, and it reads, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth."
Beautiful. Yeah, and so to the servants, the prophets, it's not a mystery anymore of what Babylon the Great is actually America.
Yeah, people call
the world.
yeah, people calling the Babylon. Yeah, people calling
still
Babylon the
doing that,
Great.
yeah,
They
yeah.
calling it Vatican City and whatnot, man.
yeah.
You know?
And they're supposed to be in the truth.
Yeah.
You know, when they learned the correct doctrine, and then they went off doing all this.
Babylon the Great isn't Vatican City. Vatican City is one of those three unclean spirits that's mentioned in the book of Revelation. I want to say it's the 16th chapter or the 17th chapter, that came up out like frogs. One being Washington, D.C., which is the leading military of the world, you know, which is actually going to cause all those nations to hate her. The other unclean spirit is the Vatican in Rome, which pushes the false idolatry that basically runs the whole world, in the form of more of the world is into Christianity and Catholicism than any other religion. You know, the Roman Catholic Church is actually the mother, you know, of the Christian church, you know, plantation Christianity. And then the third one is London, where you have these wicked people living who run the world and their economics, you know.
Yeah,
And
the
all-
monetary system.
And all three of those unclean spirits are going to be used to push the MOT to the beat, because they're going to use military force. They're going to use coercion of the Christian church. You're going to have pastors out there telling you to take it. You're going to have them locking down cities using the penalty of death, you know. And also you're going to have these people who run the central banks saying that you don't have access granted unless you take it, man. So those three unclean spirits are going to be used to further the agenda of the MOT to the beat. But the Vatican City isn't Babylon the Great, you know.
Yep.
But it is one of the 3 unclean spirits. Just wanted to bring that
Because that
point
goes in, yeah, because the lion, which is the where Esau Edom is what the mouthpiece. Why is that the mouthpiece? Because that is the money, okay, where they're able to fund both sides of the war. So back to Brother Reb.
Most of the rich bankers live in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, because this
the
is their
Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers, the Wahlbergs. They all came out of London.
and their castles, where they're able to do a bunch of wickedness and push forth what their abomination. Meanwhile, they're just, this is their Babylon is their cash cow.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, like you know, you say you own a store, but you don't live at the store. You live somewhere else. Okay. That's their play.
They the pimp and Babylon's the hoe.
Yep. This is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. Okay, so out of what? Rome. Okay, and this is what? Rome 2.0. Right? And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. That false prophet, what goes into, you know, the Vatican. Okay, goes into what? The Pope. And what does the Pope push? He pushes pedophilia. He pushes it's okay to be a transformer. It's okay to be a man on man, woman on woman. Okay, he pushes what the hot sauce. Okay, so that's what these 3 unclean spirits are doing. What you have, you know, America, which is Babylon the Great.
Yep.
Okay, then they're able to they're joined okay, America.
And for the past 80 years, nobody wanted to fuck with America, especially when they bombed them gooks over there.
Yep.
You know, they dropped Fat Man and Skinny Boy. You know, nobody wanted to mess with them, man. But you have a lot of nations like the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China. They're saying the hell with Babylon the Great. We'll create our own currency system to trade oil and whatnot in, man. We'll create our own economic systems that are backed up by actual real gold, real minerals, to where we don't have to use the American dollar as the world reserve currency, man. You know?
This is Revelation 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea and have 7 heads and 10 horns. So the 7 heads goes into what Esau Edom's rulership. Okay, the 7 kings, right? I think it's actually on there. Yeah.
Oh, on this side, bro. Yep.
No, that's the philosophies. It's actually Germana Major. It's right here.
It's like
Germana Minor, Germana Major.
Like it, bro.
Yeah, French, because I wanted to read it because I always forget one.
Yeah,
Germana Major, Germana Minor. You have Rome. You have what Greece. You have French, and then you have what the British.
Yep.
Okay, and the Spanish. And this is Babylon the Great. This is the whore. Okay, America. Okay, that rides upon the beast right here. It says, and had 7 heads and 10 horns. Those 10 horns symbolizes what these other nations that consulted together. Okay, which you have.
That's why Babylon is the whore, because she's sleeping with all these philosophies over here.
Yep. Yeah, and what is their philosophy? Democracy, which is what you know, Democrat and Republican. Okay, which creates what? A tyranny, creates what? Supreme rulership, dictator rulership. The religion, again, the Roman Catholicism, the Christianity. Okay, and other.
Will,
yeah, do what thou will, do what you want. You know,
I'm a god. You know,
yeah,
that's Esau Edom's mentality.
Yeah, be with an animal. It's all good. You know, be with a robot. You know what I mean?
I can be with your 4-year-old boy.
Yeah, adultery. Okay. Yeah, sleeping with another man's wife. Yeah, we caught that. Man on man, woman on woman, transformers.
Sleeping with children. You know, that's he's looking to normalize next. He's coming after your children, man.
Yep. Lies. Okay, and that's that's how you know who Esau Edom is. With the lies, that's their philosophy. Covetousness, yeah, wanting what somebody else has, but then fronting like you're actually cool with them. Meanwhile, like they did with the northern tribes.
Yep.
Okay, when they were when they made the contracts with Gad, what did they do? They went back on all those contracts. And what's the last one? Murder. Oh yeah, that's like the number 1 thing. Look at where we're at right now. Okay, we're in California, right? In San Diego, which was actually from our northern tribes, Issachar. Okay. It says,
that for you. This is Micah 2:1, and it reads, "Woe to him that divides iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage."
Beautiful. Because where did they take us from? Starting with West Africa, okay, and brought us over here. Okay, West Africa, they brought us over here. What, in the transatlantic slave trade? Brought us over to what, a nation where we wouldn't know the countenance. That's why you have what these French and Spanish and British last names, when those are not. That's not who we are. Okay, that's why you speak English. That's why you speak Spanish or you speak French, because those are your oppressors, right?
I got that for you. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. I was in the nation from afar.
Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 49, and it reads, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Who's the eagle? Okay, Esau, Edom. What do you always have when you have one of the presidents speaking? You have that eagle right in the background, okay, which is the symbolism of who they are, going all the way back to Rome.
Second Ezra, the 11th chapter.
Yep.
You know, it talks about that eagle. That's talking about the
Yep.
Roman Empire. And also in the Greek coins, they had the eagle on there.
Beautiful, yep.
The Roman coins, they have the eagle on there. If you look on the back of the quarter, what's on the back of the quarter? The eagle, man.
Yep.
You know, what's on the dollar bill? Eagle, man. What was on the Spanish flags? The old school Spanish flags. The eagle, man.
Yep.
It's also on the Mexican flag, man. You know? It's on the top of every single flag. It's on the top of every single American flag. They have either a gold eagle or a silver eagle, man.
Yeah, because the Spanish were one of the 7 heads. Okay, we just read it. We just read it right now.
Yep.
You know?
I'll read it again from the top.
Yeah,
Deuteronomy 28:49, and it reads. I'll get 48, and it reads.
Yeah, go down to 52 because I
Con.
think it goes into siege.
Con.
Because that's what they're doing right now. They're creating a siege. Bring it out, brother.
Yep. I'll read it. You bring it out, brother.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
Deuteronomy 48. Slack it. And it reads, therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord, Yahweh Shai, shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he have destroyed thee.
Beautiful. Type in yoke of iron around your neck, far as who had that around them. Okay, we have it right here in the picture, but when you look it up, it's going to be Jake. Okay, yeah, right there. And also that was going to our people. Okay, that yoke around, and we still have that yoke of iron around our neck, far as spiritually. Okay, but through this word, what we're being cleansed of all those false doctrines we're breaking down strongholds by having that breath of life. Okay, and then also when you go from what a strange nation, okay, a strange countenance, we came. Christopher Columbus brought us over here. Okay.
Well, Christopher Columbus came over here.
Well, okay,
And then it was the good ship Jesus was the first slave ship that came over here, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he came because our northern tribes were already over here. Right.
And they were speaking Spanish, and he brought Luis de Torres.
Yeah.
And his actual, that was his Spanish name, but his actual name that he had was Joseph ben Levi.
Yeah.
And if you go to the Hebrew, it means Yawasap ban Loya.
Yeah.
He was a son. He was basically, you look at that name, Ben Levi. Ben going into Ban, which means son. Levi meaning, lawyer.
Yep.
You know, when you had Israelite priests spread amongst all the places where Jake ruled. You know, even going into where we had the Byzantine Empire, man. You know, you still had Jake going off, but they were still Levites. You know, springing among all that. You know.
Yeah. And what I was trying to say was the transatlantic slave trade, but also they had the triangular trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's
Triangular
right.
trading.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. It's water, brother.
Like Europe, Africa.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and again, we were going. So when we were over here, the northern tribes were over here. We were also getting sent back up over there. Okay, and they were going back and forth, far as using us far as slaves. Okay, and that goes back to that yoke of iron around our neck.
They sent a lot of
Right.
Gad over to Portugal.
Yeah.
Talks about that in the Lost Tribes. It's not the Lost Tribes.
Timbuktu.
Timbuktu, yeah.
Yeah.
They talked about how prior to 1619, before we came over here, in like the 1500s, they were sending Gad over to Spain and Portugal.
Yep. It speaks about that in Revelation, the same chapter that we're in, Revelation 13:11. They shall send gifts, okay, which were what? Slaves, okay, which was us.
I think that's 11.
Is it 11?
Revelation 11.
Let me get
Where
it.
it talks about those two prophets tormented
The gifts?
them. Yeah.
They
Yep.
say, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is 11.
Come.
Yeah, because that's when spiritually we woke up. You have any more on that, Deuteronomy?
You want me to read?
Yeah, go down to
52? Yep.
52.
Deuteronomy 28:49, and it reads, "The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from the end of the earth." And that happened when the Spaniards came over here. You know, they were already on the other end of the earth, but they came to West Africa and brought the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, over here in slave ships. You know?
Just to back you up on that,
Huh.
this is Revelation 11, and it was 11, brother. Revelation 11:10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them to make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because the two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Okay,
Yep. And those two prophets are symbolic of the northern and southern kingdom, man. You know?
and because we're in their hands, we're tormenting them what, day and night. Okay,
this
and that's
report.
with this report.
That dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep.
And it's getting to the point where this dude's gonna come down with great wrath, you know? And we can't wait. We can't wait, you know? Because these are the times we've been prophesying about, starting with our elders and apostles on down, man. And Esau Edom is he's suddenly starting to do what we tell him he's gonna do. You know, we've been telling him he's gonna come down with great wrath.
Yeah.
We've been telling him he's gonna come after us. You know, we're doing what they would call break the controller taunting, man.
Yep.
You know, if you're playing somebody in a video game and they're calling out every single play you're gonna do before you do it, they're intercepting your passes, you know, sacking their linebackers, sacking the quarterback, injuring them, taking the ball from you, beating you 48-0. You're gonna want to break the controller, man. Well, that's what we're doing to Esau Edom, man.
Because these mysteries were given to what the servants, the prophets. Okay, that understanding.
Deuteronomy 28:50, and it reads, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young."
Yep. And so that's what they did. They fed our children to what they used them as gator bait. Okay, made them also shoes, made them jackets. You know, jackets of our bodies. Okay, all sorts of things. And then also, when we read in that earlier chapter, we should want for all things. Okay, what was he feeding us? He was feeding us what? Chitlings. Okay, all these different abominations, feeding us just enough to be able to keep working. Okay, like we were what? Cattle. Okay, that's why they call us what? Goyim. Okay, which are worthless eaters.
In this kingdom that we live in, we don't own anything. You know,
Yep.
even if you own the house, he owns the property that the house sits upon. That's why you have to pay a mortgage, man.
Yep.
You know, you have to buy jeans, milk, eggs, cheese. Everything you get comes from their grocery stores. He owns the realty companies. He owns the banks. He owns the public institutions of public indoctrination. He owns the school system. He owns the monetary system. He owns everything.
Right.
You know?
And what is he cutting off? All those things you just said.
Yep.
He's cutting those off if you don't take that charagma. Okay.
And the precepts.
And it speaks about that.
Hey, shalom. This is Deuteronomy 28:51, and it reads, "And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee neither corn, wine, or increase of thy kind, or thy flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee." And that's also said in the book of Obadiah, when grape gatherers came, where they left any, gleaning grapes.
Yeah, they don't leave nothing. They'll give you a job with a very low, very low wages. Okay, and then what do they'll do? They'll take taxes out. You know. Then if you get with a woman, then you got to pay what?
Child support.
Child support. Or if you have a child with her, but if you're married to her, now you got to pay alimony. And if you both, you gotta do both. Okay, and that breaks
Can't
your
wait till niggas are destroyed, man. You got some niggas back there doing, man, niggas, man. This is Obadiah 1:5, and it reads, "If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?"
Beautiful, because what are they doing right now? Okay, they took your woman, they took your child, they're taking your house, they're taking your job, now they're taking food, they're taking away water. Okay, now what do they want? They want your soul. They want your VMAT2, they want your God gene. Okay, they want to implement something that goes under your skin so they can be able to look at what you're doing at all times. And if you don't comply, it's a get down or lay down mentality.
This is Deuteronomy 28:52, and it reads, "And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates."
Yep. And what are they doing right now? They're besieging the whole city, okay, or America, okay. How are they sieging it? They have they just passed a law which within 100 miles they can be able to take away your Fourth Amendment rights.
And this happened in 70 AD, where
Yep.
he besieged Jerusalem. You know,
Beautiful, which was written for our foretime, was written for our learning. This is the same thing he's doing right now. Because siege is a military tactic, a blockade to be able to have the people inside comply to whatever that they want. Okay, and what do they want you to have? They want you to have that device, okay, inside of you. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do nothing. Okay, and then bringing out that legislation that they passed, that 100-mile radius, okay, which is that Fourth Amendment right, which is they can't come into your house, but now they can come into your house and call you a health risk. Okay, and ultimately that's to take away the right to bear arms. The people, because our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but this world is carnal. Okay, this is the #1 place where people have guns. Okay, because that's not going to be able to save you.
Deuteronomy 28:52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou treadest throughout all thy land. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, thy power, hath given thee.
Yep. So again, they're besieging this whole place, bringing it down to what? So basically, you're either going to get down or lay down. And that's the same thing that Yahweh Shai is saying. Yahweh Bashim Shai is saying, you're either going to get with me, okay, or you're going to die with these devils. You're going to be the death of an infidel. Okay, you're going to get caught up with the famine, the scourges, the
calamity.
calamity.
With all the kings and princes' children, because you're out there being clothed with strange apparel, man. You're taking on the covering. You're taking on the covering, but not the covering of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Yep. So which means you're going to be naked, because this is what they're doing with that siege. They're cutting off these supplies, right? Sirach 39 and let's get right to the point. 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water. What are they doing with the water? Mercury. They already were putting fluoride in it, but now they have mercury waters that are what? Killing all the fish. Okay, fire. Okay, they're taking away what? You're not going to be able to heat up your house when it comes to the winter. That's why it speaks about pray not your flight be in the winter.
Also in the UK, they're having they're telling people that they can't use water hoses.
They have to burn wood.
Yep.
From trees out. Yeah.
Come.
Yep. So again,
and in certain places in the United States, they're telling people that they can't use the AC. Yep. They were telling people that, I think about a month ago or so. I remember reading something about.
And then also today they said that you're not supposed to use water for a certain amount of time. I think that's going to start in September 6th. They're doing a lot of stuff in that month of September, and they're telling people. I think it was like 15 days. I'm not sure if it's just to water the land, but the whole point is that they're putting a limit on these certain things that were freely given before, right? And it says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron. Okay, because iron, what does that do? That's able to make you, your bones and things like that. Okay, so you don't be basically it's a very important part of your body, which they take the iron out of the food. Okay, and salt is very important too for your body. But what do? They take that stuff out and hit it with that fake salt. Okay, it says flour of wheat, so that goes into your bread. What are they doing with the food stores, right? They burn down over 130, food operational centers. They're telling what these farmers not to grow anymore. They're putting what Monsanto cross-contaminating the seeds with Monsanto, which creates what a disease, which all these people have, okay, which creates what genetically modified organisms, right? Honey, okay, milk, and blood of the grape and the oil and the clothing. So they're taking away everything. They're sieging this place. And if you don't have this hedge around you, you don't have that cloak, that white remnant. Okay, you're just going to be caught in the Jacob's trouble.
And speaking of that, if you read this precept one more time, all those points are analogies for having the word.
Yep.
Beautiful. Want to read again, brother?
Yep. Because then it goes back into.
If you don't have this word, you're not going to be taken care of, man.
Yeah. You're not going to have the food, the water, the clothing. They're not going to have any of these things. Beautiful point. Sirach 39 and 26. It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire,
rivers of living water, and this word is compared to as fire. Yep. Jeremiah 5 and 14, Jeremiah 23 and 29. Also, the Lord, our heavenly Father, is a consuming fire, and it also talks about the ministers are a flame of fire as well. Yep.
It's not my word of flaming fire.
Yep.
Roughly paraphrasing that.
Yep.
Because that puts.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Yep.
The scripture say in the book of Proverbs, the 5th chapter, it said, "Let thy rivers, let thy waters, let thy fountains be dispersed in the streets." Roughly paraphrasing, Proverbs 5 and 16, I believe. It talks about drink waters out of thy own cistern. Proverbs 5 and 15, and then the next verse says, "Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad in the streets."
Yep.
Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of waters in the streets, I believe, roughly paraphrasing.
2 Ezra 6 and 27, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. Mm-hmm. Okay, going into what this word.
How do you quench something? With water.
Yep. Beautiful. So this is Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron.
Yep. The sword.
Beautiful.
The show that I worked on.
The sword of the Spirit. Ephesians 6 and 17. Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, with the which thou shalt rule thy enemies. 2 Maccabees 15 and 16. Let's keep on going, bro.
Yep. It says, and salt,
Salt. Let thy conversations be sprinkled with salt.
and flour,
Flour.
of wheat,
The bread. You know.
honey,
Yep. Honey. The words like honey when you first experience it. Then comes the bitter part. You know.
milk,
Milk. You have to get the sincere milk.
okay,
You know.
and the blood.
The blood. You know.
That's Yahweh Shai.
That's Yahweh Shai.
Yep. That blood that's in red letter, the covering.
Yep.
Okay, because he died. His blood is
Also, the life is in the blood.
yeah, the heritage.
You know.
The heritage. The
The words that I speak unto you, they are life.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shai sacrificed. He sacrificed to Yahweh in blood. So now he's coming back for blood.
Yep.
And blood, and like the brothers, that goes back to your heritage, the lineage. Okay, that's why these Edomites can't be saved, because they're not of the lineage. Okay, they're not of a Hebrew Israelite,
They
right?
didn't put in on this, man.
Yeah. And the blood of the grape.
The blood of the grape. You know, the yan yan. You know.
Yep. The wine. What is that? Revelation. I think it's Revelation 6. It speaks about hold on to the wine and the oil. Okay, which is what this truth.
The oil is next,
It
right?
said yeah, and oil.
Yep, the oil.
Yep.
You know.
It says in the
Thou-
clothing.
Yeah, thou prepared me a table in the land of my enemies, roughly paraphrasing Psalm 23. Thou noticed my cup of oil.
Yep.
My cup overrunneth.
Yep. And the oil what keeps it burning. You
Yep.
know what I mean? What is that? The
The five
virgins.
the five foolish virgins.
Yep.
They didn't pack any oil, you know?
Yep. And
They
then
didn't trim their lamps, you know?
beautiful. And that clothing goes into what the white remnant.
Yep.
Okay, that spiritual cloak that's around you that you're gonna need.
Speaking of clothing, I'll just get it real quick. One of my favorite precepts. This is Revelation 16 and 15, and it reads, Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Yep.
And that's your spiritual garment, you know? I was going to get that. Isaiah 30 and 1, and it reads, Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, and take counsel, but not of me, and